Hello, my name is Kwanele Finch Tusi, and I'm the director and choreographer for Pina. Pina is a contemporary dance piece. It is partly contemporary and partly performance art. Right now I am performing the piece, which is 45 minutes long. I'm performing it in South Africa, and which is where I'm from. And I'm also performing it in other parts of the country, like Paris, which I'll perform in June, and I also perform in Amsterdam, Utrecht, Stockholm, Sweden, which is going to be later in the year in September, for a festival called Afro Vibes Festival. Okay, so Pina is divided into three parts. I've broken it down in terms of performance, what kind of performance I'm presenting in a certain festival or for a certain event. So Pina has a solo, it has a duet, and then it has a visual visual archive, which can be displayed in galleries and museums and so forth. And basically the solo is all about my own struggles with identity when it comes to the aspects of religion and sexuality or masculinity. And I've always kind of questioned all of these systems that have been put in place to, make this person who I am. And so you would find that in the beginning of the solo, the subject, which is me, all of the audiences, they enter this space, which is a very sacred space. And they enter the space trying to understand who is the subject. I'm right in the center, I'm covered in white, and I'm covered in pegs, which is pegs that I used to use. When I was told when I was young that you need to use these pegs for the washing line. So they're all brightly colored, and so you have this very beautiful figure which looks like it's out of nowhere, in a very dead and empty space. So on stage you have the empty figure and you just have one spotlight, and the beginning is all about trying to figure out the language of the piece, or the language of this subject, of this person, of this body on stage. As it moves into the second layer of the piece, the subject or the language becomes much more audible through voice and through sound, which I make. And that sound is so interesting because when I was growing up, I remember there was one instance where beklatjwa imbuzi, or we were slaughtering a cow for an African ceremony at home. And I remember this internal cry coming out of almost like the pipes when it was almost dead. And it's and this kind of fades in, and I'm like, that cry for me, or that voice, or that sound was so important for me to kind of digest when I was growing up, and now to present to the entire world.